We are students from Worcester Polytechnic Institute conducting our interactive qualifying project with Dismas House of Massachusetts to promote sustainability and help members of the Worcester Green Low Income Housing Coalition reduce money spent on energy. This will help them establish a larger presence in the Commonwealth of Central Massachusetts. Dismas House is celebrating its 25th year in the community. Their mission is to provide low-income housing for homeless people and former prisoners. Dismas House has 3 different buildings. In Worcester, Massachusetts, there's the Dismas House on 30 Richard Street and the Father Brooks House on 50 Arthur Street. And in Oakham, Mass., there's the Dismas House Family Farm on 687 Lincoln Street. The inspiration for our project came from the many opportunities presented by energy efficiency. These opportunities compelled Dismas House to found the Worcester Green Low Income Housing Coalition. The coalition seeks to stabilize their funds through energy reduction savings in order to offset the inconsistent funding for the social safety net in central Massachusetts. For the scope of our project, the social safety net refers to the housing programs and services that provide for low-income people. Here are a few words from our sponsor, Dave McMahon, about how energy efficiency can be used as a means of restoring the social safety net.
If you're putting in a solar farm, for example, that eliminates your electric bill, let's say you have a $5,000 electric bill and you put in enough kilowatts on a roof to eliminate that bill, you know, over 20 years, you're talking a significant savings of $5,000 a year for that agency. So it will free up their resources to do more creative things with housing and services for the people that we're trying to serve, to lift them up, to help them sustain a certain quality of life in the community, and also to create a model that says, you know, let's look at all the other 170 or so small low-income housing program buildings that might be accessible for this project, and let's try to get them on board too, so that this long-term investment in the energy infrastructure for the social safety net will have rewards that last 20 years and strengthen that safety net and make, you know, allow us to do more for low-income people.
Here are the results of the energy reduction efforts made by Dismas House. Before improvements started in 2010, Dismas House had a high energy consumption. This changed dramatically over the past 4 years due to their many reduction efforts. Here is a brief overview of some of the renovations Dismas House made since 2010. It all started with their enrollment in the low-income multifamily retrofit program administered by LEAN. The most significant results occurred at the Dismas House Family Farm. They reduced their heating costs by 50% and also reduced their electricity costs by 75%. Based on the successful energy reduction efforts of Dismas House, we came up with an energy reduction blueprint for the Worcester Green Low Income Housing Coalition.
Step 1. In order to determine a building's energy efficient status, it must undergo an energy assessment. The most common guidelines taken from an energy assessment can be broken up into 3 sections: building information, energy utilities, and appliances. Step 2. Take a closer look into this energy assessment. We will be able to determine areas in need of improvements. After obtaining a list of improvements, prioritizing them by the amount of investment is needed. Step 3. The amount of investment that takes priority is the amount of funds needed for the renovations. These renovations are costly, and obtaining funders is key. Step 4. Once a solid plan has been created and funders have been reached, implementing renovations may begin. Step 5. After receiving funds, creating a solid renovation plan, and implementing the renovations, now is time to calculate savings. Step 6. In order to obtain more opportunities towards savings, a continuous effort in repeating steps 2 to 5 is crucial.
I think you reduce your carbon footprint, and I think that is a major piece, and I think we all have to contribute to that. So it should be part of society to make those changes. And I think besides homeowners doing that, part of programmatics and different centers like this should be able to do the same. And there should be models for that. to do that.
If we spent less money on all of our utility bills and our energy costs, we would have more funds to directly help the families. That's what we're looking for. It would allow us to do more with the families, not to provide more case management for them, to provide them more help with housing and accessing services, and to provide them with like trainings and in-services and classes that can help educate them. Those are the things that we are trying to do now, or we do that now. But, you know, if we had more funds, I think that we could do much more for them.